What's up, tea drinkers? Who's ready to spill? Welcome to The Tea with KG, hosted by your girl, Kaylee Grace. Here you'll find your weekly boost of real talk mixed with laughter, healing, and all of those vulnerable, messy moments in between. The Tea with KG is a safe space for you to show up exactly as you are. We are here to share real-life stories from around the globe and be a community of love, joy, and celebrating life. This is a real deal show, so there will be coarse language and sensitive topics discussed. The most beautiful stories oftentimes emerge from the darkest of places, and we're here to explore it all. There's room for everyone at this tea time, so grab your drink of choice, spark it up, or just relax and soak it up. Cheers, and let's spill. And 5, 6, 7, 8. Return of the MAKK.
It is return of the MAKK. It is return of the MAKK. You know that I'll be back.
Oh yeah, the vocal stylings of Miss Amy Burns coming live on the tea with KG.
I love
So we've got an extra special episode. I said 3 extras because there's 3 lovely ladies joining me today for our Tea Time Tuesday. So what's up, tea drinkers? We are back.
Bang, bang, bang.
Toot, toot, beep, beep. So these amazing women have all been on their own episodes before. I'm just going to introduce them. So we've got Maxine, Amy, and Kelsey. So in that order, if you want to say your name a little bit and which episode you were on, we can go from there.
Ooh, what's up,
Hi.
tea drinkers? It's me, Maxine Ginnish. I was on, I want to say, episode 6, where we talked about spirituality and finding your sparkle and all of those funky things. I'm so pumped to be here today. It has been like my rainbow for like the last week. Like I just got to make it to Thursday so I can see their faces and feel their
Aw.
magic. So I'm super thankful to be here today. And oh my God, just my screen looks so fucking beautiful right now. Like
Sweet.
I
girl
love
crushing always. And that's me.
you. Yay.
Hi, guys. I'm Amy. I was on episode 11, Healing Through Grief. And I'm so excited to be back. I had so much fun. Thanks for having me.
Yay. Oh, we're so excited.
I don't remember the number of episodes because I just listen to them all day, every day. So I don't remember my number, but I was on the episode talking about my coming out story. And it was incredible. It was such an amazing experience, and I'm super grateful to be here with three of my favorite humans on this planet. So I'm super excited, really excited to be here. So thanks for having me.
Yay. And just for everyone listening, number 17 was Kelsey. So just if anyone wants to check those out. So I am so excited to have these 3 beauties joining me. My God, I'm going to tell the story because people are probably like, what's this return of the MAKK thing? I mean, obviously you can see our initials, MAKK, but basically July 11th, 2020. So as most of you listeners know, I went through a breakup in 2020 and it was a long relationship, wished each other well, just wasn't serving our highest good anymore, but it was a big breakup. Every breakup is tough. So July 11th would have been our anniversary. And I was like, we're rewriting this narrative. This is not going to be the memory of this day anymore. So I messaged all the girls and I was like, let's just have a day where we go to the river, go to the water, have drinks. It was, it's summer, good weather. Let's just live life, have fun. And I feel like a lot of us were going through different transitions in life at that time anyway. So it just was like the most perfect synchronicity of everything. So we were on my back deck. We definitely had a drink going. We were smoking a joint, I think. And we just started talking. And then I don't know what came first, the idea. I think this is what happened first. We were talking and just spitting all this awesome, deep stuff. And we were like, this needs to be a podcast episode. And you guys all know I'd wanted to do a podcast for forever. And in my head, I never forgot it. I was like, this is going to be a podcast episode one day. And then we were like, what could we call it? And then I don't even know where Return of the MAKK came from, who thought of it or if it was a group effort. But then we started singing it in a circle and dancing, kind of like what we did at the beginning of this episode. And now look at this. What, 2 years later, it's in fruition. It's real. It's here. Return of the MAKK coming at you.
We made it, baby.
I
We
love
made
it.
I love it. And so much growth has happened since that day, right? Like looking back.
Insanity.
Huh.
Insanity. Like,
Yeah.
just truly insanity. And like, where are we going to be in 2 years from now? Like, that's where my brain always goes to. So excited.
Right?
Like,
Right. I was just
cool.
gonna say, does anybody else feel excited about that? Because like when I think of how far we've came in the last 2 years, I'm like, oh my gosh, where are we gonna be in 2 years? Like that's so exciting.
Oh my God. I literally feel like it's been quantum healing for all of us. One of my other guests, Erica, the tarot psychic medium, she said that a lot in her episode. And I was like, you know what? That makes so much sense, because she's like, something that may have taken you 2 years to process before, it's happening much quicker right now, just with the energies and everything in the world. And I think too, if you're on that alignment path, I sync up into that. And I really think of it in my own journey anyway. And I'm like, I feel like that has a lot of weight to it, because just processing something like a breakup or anything really, it doesn't have to be a romantic breakup. It's wild, the process you go through, like emotionally, and just everybody knows. I think everyone listening has been through a breakup in their life, no matter if it's been a big one or a small one. And yeah, like literally 2 years ago, we were in such different places, not in a bad way, but just like we were at the beginning of something new 2 years ago, and now look, we're here.
Right?
Yeah.
And like not even realizing how massive it was going to be. Like our lives
Big
flipped
time.
in the craziest ways, but blessings. So many
Oh my
blessings.
God. Divine timing, blessings, all of that. Like, and you always learn from what you go through. Like, I know sometimes it's so hard to see that when you're in the thick of it, but there's always a lesson. And I love when we have those aha moments after the fact and we're like, oh God, like there it is. There's the lesson, or whatever it may be. So
Looking back.
Gotcha.
For sure.
it's so true. So we're going to talk about a lot today. It's going to be pretty free flowing. That's how we do it over here. We like to get the most authentic truth that comes out when it's needed, because like Amy said in her episode, there's no such thing as coincidence. Things happen as and when they should. And I really do believe that whatever's meant to come out today, it's going to, and whoever's meant to hear and receive it, they will. So let's start with talking just about the power of female friendship, girl power, the sisterhood, and the importance of it. And yeah, take it away.
Yeah.
It's a
All
little
in the
like,
same dance.
but when you say that, right, you feel it in your body and you just want to like close your eyes and like roll with it. It's such a good fucking feeling. And when we're all together and we're all in that zone where we're just like vibing and connecting, like that's fucking powerful shit. And I wish I could just put it in a jar and have it every day. And I always tell that to my clients, like those moments where you feel like you fucking feel it, remember it. And that's your touchstone, that's your baseline. Always go back to feeling that. And if you felt it once, you can feel it again. But when you're with people
I love
that
that.
you can,
Yeah.
right?
If you felt it once, you can feel it again. That could bring
Yeah.
so many of us out of the dark. I need to remember that sometimes.
Same.
Right? And
Yep.
like when we're together and when you're with people that you can be your authentic self and you don't have that guard up, like safety. Oh, safety is like, that's hot to me. I love feeling
That's
safe.
hot.
Yeah.
That's
I
hot.
could not agree more. That is so true. And I think any of us if we've ever been in situations that have felt unsafe, you value safety so much. Again, just speaking from my own experience, but I know you guys and I know your stories, and I value that hard now. Like if I don't feel safe, I'm like, it ain't for me.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Not
And when
holding
you
space
don't
for
have,
that.
no, not
I
today.
was gonna say, I find too, I love that for us, we have like deep conversations where like, some other friendships you may have, it's kind of surface level, but we're like, we get in deep conversations really fast. And I love that.
Yes.
And it's like, no one's judging each other for what we're talking about. We're just all into it. And it just feels so good to have that connection, because it's rare that you have that.
I
is.
agree.
And I
Yeah.
live for those conversations. They're the best, because when you're vulnerable and then other people are vulnerable, you just feel connected. I don't know.
Mhm.
I love it.
Absolutely. Oh, 100. And I think when you can sprinkle in those deep connection with the fun that we have, it's like the perfect, beautiful cake. It's the perfect
Mhm.
recipe, and we make the cake.
Yes.
Like, it's like,
Yeah.
right? Legit.
Mhm.
We get deep, but we have a ton of fucking fun too.
Yeah.
That's what I was
Where's all
just
the
thinking
fun
of.
people at?
We can have
Right?
those deep conversations, and then 2 seconds later, there's a conga line happening, and like
Yeah.
it's all good.
So true. It's so true. It's
I
like
am dead right now.
you've heard
We've
that
been known to
expression of
conga.
you've heard that
Yep.
expression of like an onion like peeling back the layers, right? It's the same thing, like just peeling back those
Mhm.
layers and getting to know somebody on like just a deeper level, because you get so
Mhm.
much of that surface level conversation with
Yeah.
in your everyday life. So when you have that
Yeah.
with your girlfriend,
Mhm.
it's just, for me and my experience, nothing has beat it. Like nothing, you
Mhm.
can't beat it. Like you can't beat
Yeah.
that sisterhood and that connection with your girlfriend. So I'm so grateful for it.
It's intimate.
Preach.
It's
Yeah,
a super
is.
intimate experience.
Mm-hmm.
It is. And I know for me, I've always been very blessed. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's definitely been friendships come and go that I was like, "Ooh, you were a learning process for sure."
Mm-hmm.
Love and light to you, bless you, but not my soul tribe. And what do we call them? Karmic connections, I guess. But with the soul tribe, wow, I just had a brain stop moment. I was going on a roll right there. I was like, why did I stop? Why
It
did I stop
happens.
for 5 seconds? Oh, you guys all do it too. So I'm like, I know you know what
Oh
my
yeah.
brain just did. And it was such a good thought. I was like, what was it? It was really
It'll come
good.
back. It'll
Bring
come
it
back.
back.
It's gonna come
Bring
back
it
in like 5 minutes. It's gonna come back. We're gonna be talking about something else. You're like, oh, back to that thought. I do
Back
that
to
all
it.
the time.
right? Okay. I'm so sad right now. I
I
hate when this
literally do
happens.
that in session all the time too. Like you'd be getting like into like a really deep thing with the client, and you're like, where was I going with that? What's happening right there? It would have been good.
Legit.
It'll come
She
back.
might
It'll
be
come back to
gone,
you.
ladies.
But it's so cool too. And like as you get older, like when you're in your 20s, you feel like you know it all. You feel like you've experienced it all, and you understand people and you get people. But the older you get, the more that you grow that relationship with yourself, you're almost better able to be open to those friendships
Yeah.
and be open to being vulnerable like that. And the more you get to know yourself and the more that you do that work, it's so cool. And I've been talking a lot with people about like what are those core values that we have,
Mm-hmm.
and bringing those core values into our friendships and really manifesting the people that walk that same walk that you do and hold those same like values that you do. And when you're really picky about the energy that you bring into your life, you kind of notice that things start to align. Like those people that really help you thrive tend to like come in your life without even realizing it. And I always was like, oh, like dreaming of the perfect man and all this stuff. But now it's like I dream about that perfect
I
connection
know what
of
my
like,
thought was now. Keep going. I
Yeah.
got it.
See? It came back.
but now like oh, like I want a friend that I can do this with. I want a friend that's gonna connect with me on that. And when you kind of put it out there, it finds you in like the craziest places. Like it's so cool. Life is so
Love
So
that.
so
That's
cool.
so
So
true.
cool.
it's so true. And like, it's almost like manifestation for friendships, right? Like
Heck
when
yeah.
it's like anything in life, you guys know, big, huge believer in the manifestations up in here. And anything in life, you've manifested it, you could do that with the people in your life too. It doesn't just have to be a job or a place you want to go or a band that you want to see reunite after 20 years in London, England with your girl. Talking about the Spice Girls for anyone who's not aware. Maxine and I made that 8-year-old dream happen.
And it was everything I ever imagined. Like everything.
Legit. Posh Spice was the only thing missing, but we're a ginger baby duo, so I was happy they were there. But
Yeah. And we understand. Vicky, whenever you're ready to come back.
We're
ready
waiting.
for you,
We're
girl.
here.
We are here. I'm going to say my
your
thought
thought.
I forgot. I wrote it down. But what I was going to say, it was bringing into that about how important the female friendship is, everything like that. I was going to say throughout my life, I've been pretty blessed to have good souls throughout the journey, with, of course, the karmic ones too, but those are there for a reason as well. But when I moved here, I mean, I'm very friendly. I make friends easy, but making friends that are soul connections are completely different. And I feel those easily. Like, I know when it is, because each one of you, it was the easiest thing. Like, I knew. We just clicked, right? And when I moved here, I didn't realize how much obviously I miss you guys, but I felt so freaking lonely because we would have girls' nights and like, yeah, sure, we can FaceTime, we can do this, we can chat, but it's not the same. And y'all know your girl's a hugger. Like, I'm like, I need my hugs. Like, I transfer love that way. I get love that way. And just, I still to this day miss it, but it's just, I don't feel it as intensely as I did then. But again, it just shows you that importance of having those safe, awesome females in your life that you can go to without judgment, without feeling like you have to keep your guard up, or without being like, ooh, are they going to tell everybody that? So it's just so valuable. And if anyone listening does not have friendships like that, get to manifesting or reach out or find communities that vibe with what you find important, because having people you can talk to is it's huge. And your partners are great, but the girls, you can't beat that.
No.
Right?
No, can't.
And that's what I really like invite people to do. Like, write down those core values. Like, what do you want to manifest in that friendship? What do you want it to look like? What do you want it to feel like? Write it down. It's so we put so much power in things when we put it on paper. And even just
Yes.
thinking about it, like, gives me good vibes. Like, oh my God, that makes me feel good. Having a person that makes me feel like this is so magical.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And people who support you and cheer you on, like, be each other's biggest friggin' cheerleaders, because there's enough haters in the world. We don't need any more of
Ooh.
that. Mm-mm.
Right? No,
Yeah.
thank you.
For sure. We need more empathy and compassion and, those people in your corner that are going to support you no matter what. So having those people, and even for me here, Kaylee, I was just talking to my wife about that earlier. She was like, we don't really have any like good friends, close friends.
Did you? We all were like, ooh, when you said wife.
It's funny, like we literally just talked about this a couple hours ago, and she was like, oh, I wish Kaylee lived here. And I was like, I know, because all of my good, like, my soul connection friends are away. And I was like, there's people like Max and Amy, you guys gotta come over to our
I
house.
know.
Like,
I
we
was
Right?
gonna say that.
I was like, there are people here that are the same as, Kaylee and I, that have those good souls. And for us, like, we are very, very similar in that way. We don't trust a lot of people. We have a very small circle. So when we connect with people like we all have, it's just such a beautiful thing. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's so
So-
true. Like, you can
so
vibe
true.
with your partners, but like when it's someone outside
It's
of
not
it,
the
it's so
same.
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, because
need your
like
girlfriend.
we're the silliest, like, and it's just, and again, yeah, sure, I'm silly with my partner too, but it's not the same. Like, we're not out
No.
there singing she's the birthday baby girl,
Right.
and like,
No. And I love
No.
him, but he won't do like choreography with me. It's like,
Exactly.
like, I need choreography in my friendships. It's a core value.
Yeah.
that is written down.
Oh my
Number
God.
one. Star.
Yeah. And she's
5,
gotta have
6,
rhythm.
7, 8.
And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Oh my God, you guys need to come to Vancouver right now.
Ugh.
Okay.
We're going to. We're
know.
coming.
Let's go on a plane.
I literally look at flights so often. Like, whenever I feel overwhelmed, I'm like, let's just see what it costs today.
Yeah.
I do the
It look
same
like-
thing, Max. Okay, we should all go together. We should have like a plan. When we get
I agree.
overwhelmed, we just need to go to Vancouver and see Kaylee. That's what we got to do.
Let's
That's
do
it.
it.
Benson and I are waiting. I have the food tour set up for us. I'm like, okay, all my friends are foodies like me. I have all the good foods that we need to try.
Mm.
Love that.
And you need to take me to see whales.
Fuck yeah. Love them whales. So cute.
I need to see orcas.
They're they're so cute. I love them. I feel like, okay, I'm having a squirrel brain moment, but let's just go with it. I feel like I saw someone post recently that there was like a shark spotted in the East Coast. Like Nova Scotia, was it?
I feel like it was like Cushmaclack.
Oh shit, New
Don't
Brunswick.
quote me.
That's so
I
close
feel
to
like
me. No,
I feel
thank
like
you.
you're right too, Max.
Wow.
Like Bay of Fundy.
Bay of Fundy.
Sometimes I do that too. I go on the shark trackers.
Shark tracker.
And see
I
what
didn't
else.
even know that was a thing.
There's
And
a
then
either.
once
tracker? What?
there's a shark tracker.
And they like
Oh.
tagged all the great whites, and you can like see them and see where they travel. Like they go down to Florida and they come back, and oh my god,
We're
So
going on
cool.
vacation. We're going to Florida.
We're tracking the
and they have
sharks.
names. It's cute.
That's amazing.
It's cute. I'm tracking them. That's what
I
I should
love
have put
that.
on Dookie.
Oh, Dookie.
Aw.
Everyone send the vibes out that Max's cat comes back home. He's gonna. We know
Yeah.
it.
He's coming
yeah.
back.
Wait, what happened with
Just-
your pet? I
He
missed
ran
that. Wait,
away.
your cat, is it a
Yeah.
cat or a dog?
My Dookie, my cat. My God. Nala ran away on me too, and it was
Aw.
my nerves. My children are causing me so much stress.
Yeah.
These fur babies.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh. All
I
the
got one
positive
right
vibes.
here.
He's
Right.
coming home.
Hi, Bean.
Aw.
Hi,
I-
Binky.
I could see her ear in the corner, and I was like, there she is. I didn't want to say anything, but I see you, girl. She's looking for him, too. She's watching.
She's been so good. We're a little search team. We do like our walks every day. So good.
Yeah. Oh, he's going to come home. Everybody say a little prayer that Duke comes home to Maxine.
Max, we had a cat when I was 11, and he was gone for 13 months, and he came back on Christmas Eve.
Christmas
Eve.
Eve.
We went, honest to God, we went out caroling, and came back to the house. We had lived in a subdivision, so we went and did our caroling with my parents and my cousins, and we went back in the driveway, and we were going up the steps, and Mom goes, "There's a cat under the car." And she goes, "Honest to God, I think it's Tigger." And I was like, "No way. Tigger's been gone for a year." That was his name, Tigger.
A year?
Over a year, 13 months. And she goes, "I think it's Tigger." And he didn't have a tail. His tail was chopped off. He only had a little nub, and it was him. So we brought him inside. He was super skinny. So
Oh.
I have a good feeling he's going to come back.
Aw.
Yes. I
Yes.
heard so many stories like that. So many stories.
Yeah. I mean, I was freaking out when mine was gone for like 2 days, and I was like, oh my God. But then literally lately, I've been seeing all these posts like 2 weeks, and then Max said someone she knows said 6 weeks. Kels now saying over a year. We're
Literally.
good.
Gone.
Yeah,
Winter,
he's
spring,
coming
summer, the whole
home.
year. Yeah.
Yeah. He's just living his life, and I just need to calm my nerves.
Yeah.
Let
He's
him
just on an adventure. He'll
Yeah.
be back, Mom.
Yeah, right. I gotta let him live.
Yeah.
It's so hard
He'll be
though.
back.
It's so hard because you're like, I don't know what's
Right.
going on. Yeah. Is he
Mhm.
safe? So I totally get that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I have so much hope right now. Kelsey, that story was meant to be shared today.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
It was
I
unbelievable.
do.
Yeah.
Wow.
And on Christmas too, like
yeah.
come on.
It's a Christmas miracle.
Right? Oh my gosh.
Aw.
And he lived till he was like 22. Like he lived
Yeah.
forever. That cat. Like
This
he had
cat.
a million lives. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God. He was a trooper. It's the
Yeah.
thing with
A
cats.
million lives.
Yeah. They can live so long and have so many lives. Like, oh my God. I told you guys about Lucky. He was the cat that I had, like, from like one of my childhood cats. Like, I loved him and he loved me, but most people, he was going to attack you. If you came to our house, he probably was going to try and bite you. He was like a big, fluffy tomcat with like huge paws. And like the way we found him, I'll never forget this. I think I was like 5. He was like abandoned. He was still a baby. I think he was too little to be away from his mom, maybe, or maybe just could be away from, but very, very little. He was like abandoned in the long, wet grass at my grandmother's, and it was raining, and I could hear this meowing, and I was like, we can't leave him. I was like, we can't. And my mom, she, of course, let me keep him because how could we leave him?
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah. So he had 9 lives, 100%. The things that, because he needed to be outside most of the time, or he would just get crazy. Like he loved his outside time. The
Yeah.
things he'd get into, he was such a torment to like the dogs in the neighborhood. He'd go like where they couldn't reach him on their leash and just lay there and look at them. I'm like, you're an asshole. You're just trying to mess with these dogs. And what? Oh, hi, Binks. And yeah, he one time came back after weeks and was like soaking wet. It wasn't raining, and his jaw was broken. His mouth was like wide open, and I was like,
Oh my
clearly he was
God.
laying in water, like maybe preparing to leave this earth, and came back. I'm like,
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
oh yeah,
They're
so
Lucky has some
resilient.
stories. So
Yeah,
resilient.
their instincts come out. They're like those cat instincts.
Oh, right. And I think because we baby our animals so much, I
Yeah.
do anyway. I forget. I'm like, they got this. But in my mind, I'm like, no, I'm your protector. I got
Yeah.
you. Like, this is how our conversations generally go, y'all. We go everywhere. But I wanted to ask, because this is a different kind of question, but like, what does support from a friendship look like to you? So I think support, we all receive it, right? I just thought of that. We all receive it in different ways. We value different things, kind of like what Max was saying earlier. And it's kind of like your love languages, right? Like we all are different. We all respond to different things. So I'm just curious, what does support in a friendship look like to you guys?
That's a good question. It's hard to think of words for it.
I just thought of that time. Me too. You know what I flashed back to? The time me and Amy and Maxine were in a commercial.
Wait, what?
That never probably aired.
It got shown.
Kelsey, okay, so this was 2018, I want to say, 2019. I don't.
Aqua.
It was the Aqua concert. You remember Barbie Girl, the song, Kels?
Oh my gosh, yes, I remember
They,
that.
yeah, they reunited, but it wasn't just them. Prozac was there, and
It was
like
a good concert.
it
That was
was.
in Moncton, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it was in Moncton, and we were walking down the street because we were like, we need to eat before this. We weren't ready yet. We had just drove there. We weren't cute yet. I mean, we're always cute, but we weren't like done up. And then we were on one side of the road, Main Street, Moncton, and this guy, like we could see him chasing us down, and we were like, just kept walking. And I don't remember. He, I think, crossed the road to get to us, and then said, "Do you want to be in a commercial?" I think me and Max were like, "Yes." Amy was like, "No."
No. I'm like, get out of here.
Where do I sign, Kaylee? Where do I sign?
Yeah. Max and I are like, we're ready for our close up. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Give me
we
the
did it.
contract.
yeah. So, anyways, we were in this commercial. I think it was for Atlantic Lotto, and they were asking us questions. And at one time, Amy just went, "Wow."
I don't do good when I know I'm being recorded or there's a camera. I always like act weird. So
You should see Amy off camera though.
yeah.
Like, oh my god.
Oh my god.
That's
Like-
what I said before we were recording this. I'm like, I get really tense and I'm like, oh gosh, because I'm scared. Like, what am I gonna say or do? But so when I saw there was a camera for a commercial, I'm like, oh god, I don't want to do this.
Everybody's
Abort
gonna see me.
mission.
Yeah. And we did it anyway. And it was probably the worst timing for us to do it. But we were like, fuck it. Let's just do it.
Right? And I feel like
we-
they did something stupid, like asked us a math question or
They
something
did.
dumb.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that would have been an instant
like-
no from me. I'd have
Yeah,
been
no.
Right?
Same. I'm like,
We were
math
all
is not
just
my thing.
dazed.
like,
Oh,
no.
yeah. Dazed and confused
Right?
big time.
I can't stop thinking about that question now, though. Like, what does support look like in friendship? What do I need?
Yeah. It's a good question. It's a deep one.
It
I
is.
know my answer right off the bat. As soon as you asked
Okay,
it,
Kel.
Kaylee, I knew my answer like instantly.
Let's hear it.
For me, and we talked about this earlier, is feeling safe. So I think that we've all had experiences growing up, for me anyway, that you feel unsafe or vulnerable. So for me, it's just having friends that love me for who I am and not having to be anything other than that. Just being myself and feeling people say that, like, you hear people say that all the time, but it's genuine, like, being able to just be silly or be myself or not worry about what I'm going to say or what I'm going to do and just be like, they love me anyway. It doesn't matter, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love
And I
that
feel
answer.
like
It's
It's
so
a feeling,
true.
though. It's hard to describe because it's a feeling. Like,
Yeah.
Yes.
you feel that safety, you feel those vibes, you feel that
Mhm.
connection. And
Yeah.
when you have it, you know. It's like when people say, you know, when you have those connections with your soul sisters, you just, you know, and you're safe and you can be yourself. And it's just the best. It's just the best.
Right?
I
And it's such a
agree.
bonus too when like you guys all like the same music.
Yes.
Like little
Yes.
things like that.
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah, it's true. It's again, we're mixing in like the deep parts with the fun parts. Like that's all the good
Right?
things. And I think that's so important what you're saying there, Kels, is like, I mean, we're touching a lot on being safe, but let's go in on that because that's what's coming up right now. Um, it's so important in all of the ways, right? Because like you said, you can be weird and whatever, and they're not gonna sit there and be like talking shit. You can
Right.
open up about something deep in your soul that maybe you've been hiding or you've been shameful about, or maybe you did something that you already know. I'm like, ooh, I probably should have done that. But they're not going to sit there and judge you. They're going to be like, I love you. It's fine. We all make mistakes. A little less judgment, a little more compassion. That's one of the things we love to say here. And yeah, it just shows up in so many ways. Like, I love how safety literally translates to so many things. It's not just the serious stuff, it's the fun stuff too. Because sometimes you might be around a group of people and you're like, I can't do a conga line here. Like, what?
Right? It's true.
And what kind of life is that? What kind of life is that?
Right? I'm out. If I can't conga, no
Deuces.
thank you. Later.
That's true. It's true.
So true. Like how drained you feel when you're like stuck in a situation where you're not being your authentic self. Like that's the worst feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
the worst. And not only that, but like, let's say you have a group of people, like your people that you feel safe with, right? This is group A. And then you have group B, the people that you don't vibe with or you don't mesh with. And you have a difference of opinion, let's say, right? Group A is going to have these deep conversations and they're going to have difference of opinions, but we're still all going to be compassionate and we're going to be understanding and we're going to hear each other. Where if you're in, group B and you don't really get that, like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just
Oh, yeah.
it's different. It's just different.
It's
Yeah.
totally
It is.
different. And you can't have the same open conversation sometimes with different groups. And again, to each their own, love to everybody, but it's just speaking on a term of you don't have to go hang out with people who make you uncomfortable or who talk shit about you or who make comments that degrade you and are not coming from a place of love. Because yes, of course, there is such thing as I don't want to say criticism, that might not be the right word, but some people may say stuff to you that might be harder to hear, but the way things are said, and if
Right.
you know it's said with love, then it's like, okay, I can take this moment to check myself and see, is there something going on here I can work on? And I think too, when you're in a growth mindset and like a healing mindset, you can take that with people, like that back and forth. And to me, how something is said to me is huge because I
1000%.
do not respond well to someone being harsh with me. If you're like I don't like that. Like I don't respond well. And also don't be rude. I'm not gonna engage with you if you're gonna talk to me like that. If you're gonna grow up and talk to me like an adult from a place that's not filled with emotion, then we can chat about it. But that's
And
knowing
ego
each other's
too,
boundaries.
right?
Yes, yes,
I have a
exactly.
lot of conversations about like ego-driven conversations. When you take the ego out of it, like the core is compassion and understanding, and you can have a difference of opinion regardless of if it has anything to do with you or me or whatever. But if there's ego in it, you can.
Yeah. And it's so hard to drop that. I mean, all of us still do it. We're all humans.
Oh,
It's
for
not
sure.
an easy thing to drop. But I think the awareness around it, once you're aware, then I've totally talked out of ego before. And I probably will do it again at some point. But I think because I'm so aware of it, I try really hard to make that a practice for myself, is to not approach things. One, if I'm all hot and spicy, I'm like, give yourself a sec, girl, because you need to chill, or you're going to say stuff that you don't want to say. Or if like It's just the way certain things are said. If it's said to prove a point, don't even talk to me. So low vibe. I'm like, no, just don't do that.
Right? I think it's a lot to do with respect too. Respect
Yeah.
others and respect yourself. Like,
Yeah.
don't tolerate things that don't feel right to you, but then don't treat people the way that you wouldn't treat someone you love. Like,
Exactly. There's always a way you can speak to those you care for that
Mhm.
isn't going to damage them in a
Mhm.
disrespectful way. You know, it
Right?
doesn't mean
Respect
all
is so big.
conversations. Yeah,
Mm.
conversations are uncomfortable. I don't get me wrong, I do not enjoy conflict or having tough conversations. I hate it. But
Pass.
sometimes you have to, right?
Mhm.
Sometimes you have to have those tough conversations, but they can be said with love.
Right? Productively. And I would always like tell someone who's like in their just younger right now and really wait for those people that respect you in that good way and just be like, be patient. It's gonna work out. Your people are waiting for you.
Yeah,
When the time's
that's
right, you're
right.
gonna come across them. Just be
Oh my
patient.
gosh, I wish I had somebody like that when I was young. Because
Me
honestly,
too.
like,
Oh,
and you said that earlier, Max, like when you're young, you think you know everything and you think the people that you have, regardless of how you found them or how they come into your
mhm,
circle, that's it, right? Like those are your
Mm,
people. And sometimes they're not great people, right?
No.
Unfortunately, I had
yep.
that happen when I was younger. So I think that's amazing
Yeah.
you do that with your clients because I wish I would have had somebody like that when I was younger. So kudos to you.
That's
right.
so
Thank
true. And you know
you.
what, too? I think sometimes, like, it's we kind of touched on this earlier. It may be a reflection of where you're at on your journey, too. Because, like, I
Yeah.
just know from my younger self, I did not respect her. I did not have any self-esteem
Mhm,
or love. And
mhm,
wanting to just be friends with everyone and be liked and all that stuff was very present in my life. And I knew so many people, but I still had core people who were like, they
mhm.
really know me. And then you have your acquaintances, your party friends, your this and that. But oh my God, as I've gotten older, that circle is just shrunk, but in the best way. It's overwhelming
Yeah.
now. I'm like, I can't keep up with this many people. I could barely keep up with myself.
Yeah.
Right? When we're talking about like ways that we like to be supported as friends, like Kaylee, as soon as I told you that Dookie was gone, and you were just like, I wish I could be there to look
Mm.
for him with you. And like sometimes that's all you need as a friend is just to hear someone be like, oh, I sympathize with you, I see you, I hear you. And so I feel like that's
Mm,
a big thing for me in friendship too. It's just to be
I
kind of
love
like
that.
have those vibes reciprocated and match your energy
Mm,
kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I think
true.
that's so key. And it helps you feel not alone. Like an example of that with you, Max, is like, when I was going through some heavier things in my youth, there was so much that would come up, and you never made me feel judged. And you always were on my side. And no matter what other people said, you're like, no, I know you. I believe you. And this is what you're feeling, like dissociation and things like that. Like I didn't really understand what those were per se. And you just said it. You're like, oh no. And it just, especially when you're going through heavy stuff that is,
Mhm.
well, for me it could be foreign to you, and like you've never really experienced what your brain starts to do after that, and you're hard on yourself and you're like, why? Like I should be better. And it's like, no. And you've said so many great things to me. I'm like, I have so many things I always think of that you say, like movement is medicine, things like that. And yeah, it's just so key to having a solid bond with someone.
funny
So
that
Mhm.
important.
I said those things to you, and I remember you saying those things to me.
Right, the ripple
No,
effect.
but like that's the impact of your words. Like I know we're kind of getting
Mhm.
off topic, but like your words, Max, to her, like passed down to me, and they meant a lot to me. So that's just, yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
And like that's
Right?
how we share our wisdom, because each one of us as humans have wisdom with something.
Mhm.
And putting it together and sharing that is just so key, because you can always find those little aha moments or those little light bulbs that go off. And I think it was, I don't know, the last episode or the one before, I was like, sometimes it might take hearing it from 5 different people. And then when
Mhm.
one person says it one way, it finally makes sense. And you're like, thank God, it finally sunk in. Like,
Yeah, it's true.
yes.
100%.
All right, so we just had the best laugh ever. It was probably, we were saying it was like an hour of us just laughing. So you're welcome. I cut a lot of it out, but we'll get back to our topic. So we're talking about what does support look like in a friendship to you? So Amy, what you got?
Like in my mind, I was thinking the exact same thing as Kelsey when you said support and just feeling safe, feeling like I can be myself, but also feeling like somebody's there for me and that I'm going to be
Yeah.
okay and I'm not being judged. Like there's so many things I think to it, but
Mm-hmm.
just feeling like there's no judgment, I guess, that I can be
Yes.
myself and that I can say things or do things that some other people may not agree with or something, but my friends are going to be with me. I don't know how to explain it.
Yes.
I
Oh,
know
that
what you
makes
mean.
total
100%.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like the no judgment thing is so freaking huge because if you walk into a group and like you want to be open and vulnerable, but you know they're going to judge you, you're not going to want to open up to those people. Like, no,
No,
fuck
Mhm.
thank
that.
you. No,
No.
thank
That's
So
you.
that's
yeah.
huge, the no
It's
judgment
such
thing.
it's a
Like,
sad thing that we have that like mean girl um fear. Like you know what I mean? Like you feel
Yeah.
for me
mm,
anyway, growing up, I'm like, oh my God, they're gonna think I'm like you gotta be cool, you gotta be collective. But if you want to do the
Yeah.
right?
Congo, like they're not gonna like
Yeah.
that. Like, but I want to do
Yeah.
the Congo. Like,
Right?
Yes.
oh, I feel that for sure.
Right? I
And
love that. Yeah, because no judgment. You can be your weird self.
Yeah. Just have
and
fun,
Yeah.
live your life. Dance
and
like nobody's
Right?
sometimes
watching.
I
Like,
I think too we feel that way sometimes because we've had that. We've had friendships where there was
Mm-hmm.
so much judgment and where we're
Yeah.
so scared that if you told them something, you're like, shit, I probably shouldn't have told them that because I know that they're
Yeah.
going to tell everybody when it's
yeah.
some
Yeah.
things that you felt so vulnerable to even trust them in the first place. And it's like, okay, well, I don't want to keep doing that or keep trusting people that I think are my friends.
A
So I
hundred
think
percent.
I think sometimes it comes from a place, but just finding those connections where you feel safe with somebody, and I think that's the
Yeah.
word to describe it. Just feel like you can trust them and be yourself is important.
Oh, totally. I love that you said that too about how we've probably all experienced that. And that's what it is. We're so protective of ourselves because we don't want to repeat that. Like nobody wants to repeat that. So sometimes, if it's more challenging to like if you have a hard time opening to people, let yourself feel it. Like you're gonna know the difference. Like your body
Mhm.
is so smart, it's going to respond. If it's not good, it's going to
Yeah.
respond in a good way. If it's good, like you'll just feel peace, the baseline of peace,
Yes.
baseline safety. You will feel safe if it's a safe space. And don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, yes, sometimes there are moments where it's like, ugh, things progress and change as it moves, but that's also just that's life sometimes. I think there's a
Yeah.
difference between the mean girl judgy yuck and what
Mhm.
a friendship progressing and maybe shifting
Right.
directions.
Yeah. That's
100%.
so true.
Evolution.
Yeah, I think
Evolution.
that for
100%.
me, I love everything you guys said 100% checks the box. I think showing up is a big thing for me. Like people can say stuff, but showing up is different. Like it just means a lot to me. Like, well, we'll go back to that day. You guys all showed up like when we did the July 11th thing. And that's just important because yeah, of course, life is life and like things happen, but when you're important to someone, they will find ways to show up for you.
Yeah.
So,
And make
It's
it a priority.
true.
Sure.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that's a big part for me. I guess how I feel supported is when people we talked about this too, Max. They they walk the walk. They don't just talk the talk.
Right?
I love
Actions
that.
speak louder than words.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Amy's laughing. I feel like Justin's in there.
No, I have
Hey.
like this funny setup, and he's like, "What are you doing?" Because he can see my phone. He thinks I'm just sitting talking to a teddy bear. Sorry.
I wish I could see his face.
He was just like, what are you doing? Call. I'm
Yeah,
gonna call
I'm
back.
busy.
I'm talking to my vagina.
I'm busy.
Yeah. So he's just looking at me like I had 10 heads because you can't see my phone. It's just a teddy bear, and I'm just sitting on the floor looking at a teddy bear. with a teddy bear on a garbage can. Anyway.
This is me.
I'm gonna start laughing again, and I know I'm not gonna be able to stop. I can feel it, like when you get giddy, and you know me, you guys know. Once I start, I can't fucking stop, and it's already here. I can feel that energy, and I know it will take nothing for me to lose it again. So, all right, ladies. Well, that was the freaking best conversation ever. I laughed so hard. I needed those belly laughs in my life. So we're gonna get our final words of wisdom as we always do, and we will start with Max.
Ooh, on the spot. I'm gonna move away from words of wisdom and do a homework assignment. So I would really, yes. So like I said earlier about our like core values and all of those things, I would invite you guys to sit with your journal and really do those things. Like write down the feelings you're looking for, explore that. Where in your life are you getting that right now? Where can you find it more so you can really, really bring that energy into your life and have double it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But really hold some space to do that, because when you do that inner work, everything just kind of lines up and those people will come into your life. And be patient.
I love
Patience is
that.
the virtue.
Oh, it totally is. And it's definitely one that I work on in certain areas of life. So true. All right, Amy, you're up.
All I want to say is go easy on yourself. Sometimes life is difficult, but having support and people around that are there for you is so important. And for me, I'm really trying. This is one thing I have to do too, is not take life so seriously.
Mm.
And I think that's something that I'm working on. So
I love
that's all
that.
from me.
I love that a lot. I think that's something all of us can attest to. I notice too sometimes, like when I'm getting really worked up and stressed, because we all know everything always works out. And I'm like, why am I doing this to myself? I'm like, you're literally only harming your being by getting so worked up over this. And then when you step back and do just enjoy your life, things just flow because you're not blocking it with your stress. So
it's true.
Love that.
So true.
Girl. All right, Kels.
I think that I would, I'd say trust your gut, like trust your intuition. Save space for the people that make you feel good and make you feel loved and supported, and set boundaries, set healthy boundaries.
Yes.
With any
I love
relationship.
that.
Yeah.
I love that a lot. That's so good. And I think too, in trusting your intuition, you ultimately are you're trusting yourself. And I have struggled with that for a long time. It's because when you betray yourself, or, things happen with betrayal in your life, it's sometimes so challenging to remember I'm safe and I can trust myself. I am good enough. And what I know is best for me, that's what I should go with. It doesn't matter what anyone else says. So I like that a lot because, it's so important. Gotta trust that gut.
Nobody knows you like you. So trust your gut. It's your soul screaming to you. If it's your intuition, if it's your gut, it's your soul. It's your soul talking to you. So trust it.
Yes. And something I've been trying to practice too is when I get an intuitive hit, don't think on it, because that's when my brain will come in and be the saboteur, or the external thoughts will be like, wait, is it this? Or maybe, you know what I mean? Then it'll mess me up. And I'm like, wait a minute. No. What does your gut say? Don't think about it. Yes, no. Don't think about anything else.
And the more you do it, the easier it is. Like work it like a muscle, repetition, do it over and over and over. And the more that it's like building a relationship with yourself too. The more that you trust yourself, and the more that you show up to yourself and show your like inner child that, I love you and I'm going to show up for you in that way.
Yes, that'll transfer to everything in your life. When you trust yourself, love yourself, feed your soul, you're going to attract those beautiful friendships, that perfect I say perfectly imperfect partnership, whatever. Nothing's perfect, but you know what I mean? It's when we allow that inner healing and growth and love to happen, it will show up in your life. And it may not be every area of your life right away, but be grateful for any little moment you notice where it's showing up, and be like, I see you, expressing my gratitude, and it'll just start to keep coming. not saying you're not going to have setbacks. We do. But those, again, if we look at it as a, what am I learning from this? Makes it a little easier sometimes.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
There's going to be lessons along the way for sure. Like, you're not going to escape those. It's going to be hard. You're going to have times where you're like, oh my gosh, what do I do? But they're lessons, right? You got to look at the big picture. So I love that.
Yes,
Yeah.
big picture.
life
I love
saving.
that. I'm a
That's
big
life.
picture dreamer here. So any big picture that I'm like, yes.
Oh, right. I love talking about that stuff too, like your goals, like what do you want to do in the
Yeah.
next 5 years? What are you going to do to get there? All those conversations are so fun.
It's so true. And like when you have a big picture in your head, it's sometimes I'm like, I have no clue how I'm going to get there. I just know I'm going to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay. Well, I want to thank you all so, so much for joining me today. Like I knew, oh my God, this has been 2 years in the making, this particular episode. So I really want to express my gratitude to all three of you. You all are some of my biggest cheerleaders in life. I don't want to get emotional, but I probably will. Oh God, no, it's happening already. I can feel it. But I just want to tell you all how much I appreciate you. You show up for me. You're there for me. We have so much fun. It's not all serious. It's all such a good mix. And I'm just very grateful for the friendship I share with each of you individually and collectively, because it's just freaking magic. That's it.
Oh, I love you.
Oh, I love you guys. This is amazing. Thanks for having us, Kaylee. This is so great.
Yeah, it was fun.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
So freaking
fun.
proud of you too. So proud.
Thank you.
Yeah, same.
Thank you. You're so sweet. My face is very red right now. Oh my gosh.
So many people with us, Kaylee, and it's an incredible thing because not a lot of people will put themselves out there to do that. So kudos to you for that.
Yeah.
Thanks, love. And thanks to you three. You all put yourself out there with me. You were like, all right, you're going out there. I'm coming with you. So
All like
I
ride or
appreciate
dies.
that. That's it. Ride or
Let's go,
dies. I'm
girls.
here for it. Let's go, girls. Amy, we're looking at you.
I was ready. I was gonna go.
Anyone listening, you may not. Amy's a really good singer. So like when there's
Oh.
lead singing, we're like, okay, Amy.
You're up.
And I just sang randomly. So
Oh, and it's so funny because we all do like the singing randomly. It's my favorite thing. I'm like, I don't care if y'all don't like it. We're gonna do it. It's gonna be great, and we're gonna love it. So yay! And that's another way to cultivate the joy in your life is just singing when you want to and jamming with your girlfriends. No judgment.
That's right.
None.
yeah.
Yay! Oh, let's get your social medias. If anyone wants to connect, they can. So Max, hit us up.
Follow me on Instagram, Maxine Ginnish. Yeah, that's where I'm at.
And Amy.
So my Instagrams, I have two, Burns 2, and then I have Amy's outfits too, but I need to get back on Amy's outfits too. I just haven't found the groove yet, but I'll be back.
Oh, that's it. That thing, creative. Like, I get it. You go through the inspiration moments, and like, yeah, Amy's a fashionista, also. She does cool little outfits on that one. So awesome to check out if you like seeing awesome clothes. All right, Kelseyville, your turn.
Kelseyville.
I haven't called you that in a minute.
My Insta is @HeyIt'sMe_Kels. TikTok is Kelsey Bouchard, I believe. Is it Murphy, Kaylee? You would know. I don't know if I changed.
I think you changed everything to Hey, It's Me, Kels. I think I have everything's going to be linked though, so nobody fret. If you're listening via podcast, come to Instagram or Facebook because that's where everything gets linked. I can't link things on the podcast, not sure, or maybe I can, and I just don't know yet. I've only been doing this 6 months, so you never know. And
6 months.
I know it's crazy. It feels like it's been so fast, but also like I've done this forever. It's a weird feeling, but it's a good feeling. Yeah, and if you're watching on YouTube, look the description box. Everything will be there. And yeah, if you are watching, like the video and comment, share, subscribe to the channel. We'll build this community up even more. And if you're listening via podcast, as always, leave a review. I love hearing what you guys think. And always interact with me and the girls on any of our social media platforms. Like, we welcome it. It's fun, and it's how we know, who else out there is in the tea drinker tribe. So it's amazing.
Yeah.
And we always want to welcome people into our community. So comment,
Hell yeah.
share, you know?
Yes.
We don't
Safe
bite.
spaces.
For sure.
Meow.
Meow.
Doing our calls to Dookie now. We're like, all right, come home,
Yeah.
Bubba.
Yeah, Mama.
Oh, amazing. Yeah. All right, everyone. Well, that is our tea time for today. I want to thank all of the listeners and viewers for tuning in. This channel and podcast would be nothing without all of you listening. I really, really appreciate it. Let's just keep sharing, keep building it up, and, you know, changing the world and inspiring others and helping people feel not alone and like they're loved, because that's what's up. So I want to wish love and light to everyone, and we will see you next time.